That was slick. Hello, everyone. Welcome to October. It is still currently Oktoberfest? No, it is not. Anyways, hello, I'm Zach. We've got a potpourri of goods tonight here on GBC Live. We have Jason Schutz on from Slow Gravel, possibly even Vic will be joining us soon. We are going to talk about the GBC kits. We are going to talk about the encounter with Matthew Vanderpool. And yeah, I've had a couple of comments on the video that I posted that is he the greatest rider in the world right now, cyclist? And road cycling, well, that's something else, but we'll talk about that. So before I bring Jason in, what I wanted to do, if you read the whole banner there, that we're going to do a preview of the Send It East Bay, which is a week from Sunday, October 19th. We start off in Albany, we end in Berkeley. It's right across the line, as you could tell. It's about less than a mile between the start and finish. So if you're smart, you will park at the start. But let me quickly throw this on right here while I get rid of our background. So the course for this is only a little bit over. I think it's like 28 miles. I will guide everyone through this. We will be starting right on Solano out of Hal's Office Coffee. Let me quickly throw in on top of here. I also happen to have a little elevation profile here. And basically what we'll be doing, the first part is pretty paved. We'll be taking the Olone Greenway, which kind of goes underneath BART until we kind of like wrap around here. And we have our incursion to dirt, where we go up into San Pablo Ridge Trail. Definitely has great views on both sides. You can see in the background here, Mount Diablo, famous mountain from the Tour of California. And then we'll be dipping in for some single track here. This was something that was supposed to be in our Berkeley video, but it was a little too wet and the trail was closed that day. So instead, we went up the Conlin Trail. So now we're actually going to do both. The single track here, it's a little bumpy, a little rooted, nothing too crazy. The Conlin Trail is really gorgeous. There are cows up there. There'll be a gate we'll have to shut off early. It's a little steep at the start, but once you get up and start looking around, it's really cool. We make it to the top. If you've seen the video, be careful right here because I crashed there. So that was fun. But then it's pretty paved for a while here along Nimitz Way and make our way to Inspiration Point, which pretty much follows the name. Then we've got about 2-mile climb up the Seaview Trail. This is a little technical in parts in terms it's also a little rocky, a little rooty, a little steep. But when you make your way up here, we have a little paved section here, Volmer Peak, which just as you could tell up here, gorgeous view of the bay. And then we go down some pavement, and then we're kind of going deeper into Tilden Park. We're going to have a pretty rocket descent in, and then we'll do a little bit of climbing here in the Redwood Trail, which I think I crashed on my first mountain bike ride ever, if that tells you anything. So, but I was going the other way. Then we kind of go around the golf course. We have a little dabble of dirt here, Wildcat Gorge, which was also in the Berkeley video. And then we climb our way up and we head down Spruce and wiggle our way through North Berkeley over to Headlands Brewing. It's basically a big outdoor pub. We could bring your bikes in, but you can see it's right next to BART. The station's a little further down, but not too far from the North Berkeley station, which you can see is right here if you're trying to get there, and not far off of Gilman Street, where Green Day happened to cut the rug there. So that's our short little preview. We have a couple comments here with hello, hi Josh, and we're going to cut that off. And I should probably cut this off. Oh, yeah. And it's gone. So we've got other things to talk about. You heard from the top of the show. We're going to talk about Matthew Vanderpool. We're also going to talk about our new GBC kits. If you have any questions, go ahead, line them up in the onto YouTube. Oh no, we're not on Facebook for some reason. But yeah, we'll be able to answer questions here. So let's bring in Jason Schutz of Slow Gravel. Hello, Jason, and good evening.
Hey, Zach. How's it going?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. I'm good. The course looks pretty fun next weekend.
Yeah, it's a little bit of climbing. It kind of reminds me of LA and the fact that it's kind of you've got to hit some near double-digit grades at certain parts. So small,
Okay.
little technical. Kind of reminds me also a little bit of Marin, although not as choppy. We had some people float that we would go a little further south into Joaquin Miller, but it's a lot of single track, a lot of people. So we try and find a good balance, and it's a robust enough ride. It gets people to beer faster.
Okay. That's important.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So, first of all, last night was Wednesday, and
Yeah.
you had a ride. And tell
Yes.
people again about the Wednesday night rides.
So for unfortunately another week, maybe 2 more weeks, we will host our weekly Wednesday night ride, and that's basically just because of the light. Um, at a certain point, we are starting the ride before sunset, and after a point, we're starting it after sunset. So we just want to make sure that it's safe for all people. But every Wednesday night, we host a ride. Every Wednesday night, at the end of the last Wednesday of the month, we do the Pismo Preserve ride. And every Saturday, we try to host something for the community. And we always try to post it by Thursdays.
Um, yeah, and if people saw our Pismo Preserve, the once a month ride, uh, you
It's
may
pretty
well,
fun.
yes, you may
Yeah.
or may not see that one in our best of video at the end of the year.
Okay.
Did that make it very nebulous, or what can I say?
I think we should strive for the best of. I think we can. I think we can present that for you.
Yeah, and well, I'll be doing a video pretty soon about the Hover Air, and I thought that that little drone would be perfect for it. Now I'm not so sure. No, I'm not so sure.
Okay.
I found out some things. There's some parts where it would be really cool, and then there'd be parts where we may be searching for it.
Right.
So uh, it has its challenges.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I would love to talk about our GBC kits. Uh,
Yeah.
this is the second time we have gone with Volet, and you have a much closer relationship being in San Luis Obispo County as they
Yes.
are just down the road from you. And uh, a couple of people from Volet showed up on that ride. And
Yes.
uh, I've been first of all, like you, I obviously lean towards California companies, California made. It's a super. I think now they're really the only one that does it. So
I think they
that's
are too. Yeah. With LAL in Mexico, and um, I honestly can't think of any Zocas in Mexico. I can't think of anybody else that stayed in California other than
yeah,
Volet.
yeah. I mean that's pretty impressive. Also, when you weigh in the price versus quality,
Right.
it's a pretty amazing what they do for the product, and
Correct.
pretty good customer service as well. So I definitely
Yeah.
got to hand it to them, and the fact they support like the factory racing team, and um, they're in the community as well.
Correct. Yeah. Absolutely. They're fantastic designers, and as somebody who does the graphic design myself, that also passes it on to somebody else, it's a very sensitive subject to say, don't make any changes to my art unless I provide you the information to do so. And I feel like we get a very respectful response to do that. Absolutely.
Well, I want to go in, and I hope it's okay that I share some of their designs that, they had
Yeah.
looked at some of our previous um, kits, and uh, I believe it was Ralph that had gone, not Ralph, Rich that had gone through and gave a couple designs. And here I'll show basically what they had given us first. And there were 3 designs, and this is the third time we're going at it. And the first time our kits, if people haven't seen them before, they were black with a yellow stripe. The bear was in red, and then gravel bike was on top, and California was on both sides. So, black and yellow was pretty safe, and they gave us 3 different looks. This one I liked, but I think when I played around with it and I flipped on the shoulders, I switched the yellow and the black so it would fade to yellow at the end of the sleeve. I thought I like that look a lot too. And this one in the middle didn't seem to like so much. I do kind of like the fade on the shorts though. I thought that looks really cool. So I was like, if we did go with something like this, we could kind of merge it up. And then if people have looked closely at our kits, like this thing looks familiar. And if people have seen with Jack Rue, they had made a Hawaiian shirt, and I like Hawaiian shirts. And what I was also thinking this time, because we didn't do it on the last jersey, because I don't think it would have looked good, was we wanted to have the endurance T-shirts. I like not always wearing the zip up. I like having the loose shirt, and so I kind of thought that this would look better, would translate far more better onto one of those. And I had shared this with Jason here, and we'll throw Vic in here. How long have you been listening, Vic?
Hey, Vic.
Listen.
Hey,
How's it
Vic,
going?
I'm sorry for show's interrupting your meal.
I don't see what you're showing.
Oh shoot! This
We
whole
don't
time.
see it either. No.
Now do you see it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
You've been talking about it, but it wasn't up.
All right. Well, this was the first one that I was talking about with the faded sleeves.
Yes.
I thought this was going to be on radio only, but
I'm like, what is he talking about?
I thought I could just So, like I was saying, like I like the design when I flip the yellow and black on the shoulders, and actually, I did like the gray fade at the bottom. It was very subtle. The middle one, like I was telling people, wasn't as in love with the yellow on the shirt, but I did like the fade on the shorts. And then this is the shirt I've been talking about. And I've been sharing this with Vic and with Jason. And what were your initial thoughts?
What was my initial thought?
Either of you, or both of you at
Okay.
the same time.
You can go ahead, Vic.
My initial thought was, I'm not a big fan, but mainly because I thought the yellow bear and the California got lost in the design.
Yeah.
So we fixed that, and now I'm a fan, especially with the lighter background. I also thought black is going to be too hot in this. So I liked the idea, but it needed some fine tuning for sure.
I agree with Vic. My my blessing and my curse for graphic design is visual impairment. So if I can't see it without my glasses on, I don't see a solid presentation.
Right.
And that really lends me to the initial where when we spoke about it, where I wanted to add more spread around the logo. I wanted to make the logo more readable and more understandable from a distance. I felt like the flowers that the folks at Volet put together were fantastic. I thought they were super cool. I didn't have any issue with the spread on them, whether there should be less or more. I felt like that the contrast was good. I just felt like there needed to be more room for the logos.
Yep.
And then we, then Zach, you and I started playing with the colors. You passed me the files. One of the files you passed me were the vector files, and thankfully I have a lot of experience with that. So I was able to play with them and switch the contrast in the background to white from black. And I initially left the colors the way they were, and then it just happened circumstance as I switched around different colors to kind of show you different variables. I switched the red to the blue, red to the yellow, and the yellow to the red. And I felt like that's when you kind of had your aha moment with the design. You were like, I really like this. And I think we're going somewhere.
Yeah, I think even Vic, I think you suggested just make it white early on.
Mhm.
And I was like, come on. And then I think I just did a quick, bucket paint in Photoshop to make it white. I was like, it's not so bad. But like, I think like your initial comment about the logo being kind of lost in there was the biggest issue. And it just kind of seemed like it was camouflaged at the time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then I know this is a couple further steps down the line, but your design was pretty similar to this. I think initially what you did was the logo itself was kind of more that olive color. And then
It's still on
and
the
then-
yellow. So
Yeah, you're still
it's
showing
it's
yellow.
still on the black and yellow.
Oh, okay, hold on a second. Boom. Is this
Okay.
up now?
No.
There you go.
Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
Experiencing technical difficulties.
It's okay.
So we had gone to, you essentially had given this, but the one difference was that the logo itself matched the color, the little olive color, and
Correct.
then we had found out that the bibs, I can't remember what the color issue was, but it just looked kind of weird.
Well, I would
the
probably say I have found an experience that the vast majority of clothing manufacturers in the bike industry are 1000% willing to adapt to what you need and what you want. But I think a lot of the times the sales reps and the individuals we interact with are almost constrained by the things that they're processed with. So one thing we have to our advantage is I, being a cyclist and slow, I knew that Volet had a very, very prominent color with the olive green bibs that were slightly darker. So you were able to reach back out to the manufacturer and say, I understand that you might have a darker version of this. Is there any way that you can incorporate that? And they were able to provide you with that resource. So that's kind of like where we rolled out with the darker bibs, but we really wanted to tie that in to the jersey. And on the initial jersey design that the artist put together, he had switched all of the green color, which is the leaves and the logo and everything else, to the darker color. And on initial review, when I looked at it, it just seemed bold and kind of busy. So my suggestion was to progress the leaf color to the lighter color and then leave the logo to the darker color green that would almost match the olive green on the bibs. So we have a connection between the two assets. So we have these really nice, simple bibs with a white logo on the side. And we have a fantastic jersey that really represents the ethos of off-road cycling, which is a Hawaiian polo or Hawaiian work shirt. which is what I pick up from this. So we have this core essential of like OG mountain biking paired with this like prominent modern essential, which is modern gravel cycling, where we have the pockets on the side, we have the pockets on the back, but we also have the logo representation on the side, so we know where we're from and where we're going. And the jersey just ties it all in.
Wow, that's a amazing description. I didn't realize the green was lighter on the jersey. Now that you say that, it's like, duh, that's why the bear pops out.
Yeah,
It ties directly into the bib. I mean,
but we also had a nice spread around the logo on the back and on the front. So you can clearly read the representation of what the jersey is about, without really taking away from the kind of like essential off-road Hawaiian print shirt. But you still have the modern kind of accessibility of the 3 back pockets and the two-way zipper and all the stuff that we really want as gravel cyclists.
And the California logo in the middle pocket is a nice touch as well.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Absolutely.
I think we had really lucked out on this because they only the complete green bibs were way better than the olive offering on the one side panel with the black. It definitely needed like a solid color. And also I guess they're phasing these shorts out. Maybe they just weren't lucky enough to have like a design like this that matched with them. But we're only offering them in cargo bibs. But they gave us a really good price on this at $109, and I think that last time the cargo bibs were, I want to say, $135 or something. We did it 2 years ago. So they had sent me a pair of these last week, and I wore them, and I think they definitely do feel better than the ones 2 years ago. A lot more space in the pockets. Didn't feel as tight. So I'm definitely going to grab at least a couple of these. And it's got the big pocket that's in the back as well.
Yeah.
And Chris, yes, killer looking kit. Thank you, Chris. And Chris has already gotten one to represent with. So, and then I guess
I would say with the bibs, these are their prominent bibs. These are our go-to for our 5 hour, 6 hour, 7 hour, 8 hour days. The only difference is I would say I believe their new colors that they rolled out are in a lot of variants of gray, where they're moving away from the burgundy and the emerald green but there's no difference in the cut, the pattern, the chamois. It's the same quality that we've been racing on for years.
Yeah, and then when it came to the accessories, like, I was like, I think solid would be pretty good instead of holding on, because I didn't know if they would be able to.
I'm so excited you did the best.
Well,
I have to get one. I have to buy one. Absolutely.
I couldn't remember before. Like, I thought that like all the uppers had to be the exact same design. And so I was like, I think this would look better. And Jason, you had said, yeah, go that. And then you also had the idea of maybe a darker green. And I had a couple people that have brought that up too. But I figured this was a little bit more consistent and might get less questions about it. I think either way would have looked pretty cool. I think a darker vest might have looked good. But I still think this looks really good. And then
it's just a cool uniform contrast to the jersey. Let's the jersey pop out on the sides and ties the bibs and the vest end together for sure.
Yeah, and then I don't have all the endurance line here, but the short sleeve shirts, the basically the long sleeve kind of follows the same, and then the hoodies. And I imagine the hoodies are, I don't know if I have a Volet one, but the or not hoodies, which seem to be pretty similar. I love those hoodies in long sleeves too. So I'm pretty excited about those. And the arm warmers are pretty much the same design as when we had last time, just different colors. Same thing with the cap, made it pretty easy. So, and I think the cap last time we had the circular logo, it took up a lot of real estate, so we got rid of that. So I'm pretty excited for this, and they should arrive around the end of November. So I'm looking forward to styling and profiling.
Yep.
As the kids say,
Vic, I feel like you're gonna be like super bummed that matches your new bike.
I know.
You're allied. You're like, oh, Zach, why does it have to be a perfect fit for my new bike?
Why did you do that?
Why did you support your friend in every way possible?
Why?
Yeah. Why would you do that?
I was elated when you changed it from the yellow to the green logo. I was like, oh, now we're talking. It's awesome.
I was so excited when Zach and I were playing around with it, and he would send it to you and I feel like a few other friends, and he was sharing me screenshots of the response back, like, yes, stay with this, stick with this, do this. I knew we were on the right direction.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad you stepped in because it came out.
As a former member of West LA, I understand the requirement of looking cool on the bike. It's almost important as being fast. Almost important.
It's almost.
It's
close.
It's right there.
It's
right
close.
Yeah.
You got to look good first.
Yeah. Yeah. If you don't look good, then it does not matter if you're fast.
It really doesn't matter. So.
Yeah.
There you go.
So if you're watching it live or watching the replay, we have a link to the store in the bottom. Also, if you're a Patreon member, we've got discounts. So we appreciate people that have supported us on Patreon. It's definitely gotten us to move forward and do some of these trips. So thanks everyone supporting and representing GBC out there. So anyways, the other topic of conversation was about the Spanderpole ride last week. It was a secret. I don't know, not much of a secret. You heard within
the worst kept secret in the cycling community.
Yeah, I heard about it up here, and I'm like, what, 200 miles north?
Pretty far away.
Well, it didn't take long because people were reposting Instagram stories that he was in LA, and then, will he show up for a ride? And if you knew one of the couple people in the photos, you're like, well, the ride they show up to is the Wednesday ride at Griffith Park, the Pandas Ponies. There are a couple of other prominent rides although I think Pandas and the Los Angeles area has definitely become the biggest on a Wednesday. And our friend Sam, who's with the news, confirmed it, and it was just a matter of him showing up, which he did. Showed up a couple minutes late, but that was okay. I don't think anyone was complaining. He rolled in, I guess, with a few of his Canyon teammates, or not teammates, but other people that were represented by Canyon.
Patreons. Yeah, sure.
Didn't they have a whole Canyon truck, a whole rig there?
They had a Canyon truck there. They had donuts. They had coffee. So, yeah, that was a pretty good tell that it was going on. But our friend Vin, who works at Zwift and had his picture with him, he knew that he was coming. And there was a number of Zwift employees there, as well as Eric Min. And yeah, he just had rolled up and I'll throw the video on right here. And we could do a little kit talk. I don't know if Alpecin is my favorite kit on the tour. Wasn't going to exactly tell him that, but
I like the kit. You don't like the kit?
I think it's okay. You know,
like
it's gray.
It's great, but it's clean.
I would say, as somebody who's worked for several clothing manufacturers, gray kits are about as dangerous as you can get.
Dangerous? How?
Dangerous is from sweat, color, fade. There's a lot of unattractive features that come out of a gray kit.
Well, but when you're on the pro
and
tour,
there's a lot of incredibly high quality fabrics that are required to make that not present.
Yeah. Well, he's on a world tour team, so
correct.
I think they can handle it.
they can afford the cost for sure.
Yes.
There's maybe 2 manufacturers in the fabric world that will accommodate for that level of quality that most of the manufacturers can't.
Would that be an Italian manufacturer?
Correct.
Okay. Oh no, I have an ad. Nuts.
Oh no.
I will bring it back, man. As soon as he comes on, the ad shows up. So I guess
did you just get an ad in your own video?
Yeah, I forgot to shut it off. But
Zach, I'm gonna bring you to the Vimeo world. It's a safe space. There's no ads. There's no forwarding. There's no marketing, but there's no ads and forwarding.
Okay, here we go. They're back though. Anyways, there he is on the left. I tell you, like, the one thing that I know, like, all pro riders are much better bike handlers than me, but the way he had just kind of like drifted in to this whole peloton was almost like he was an angel descending from the sky, like how he had just weaved his way in. And Vic, I don't know if you remember Brioni, who also from the Netherlands was an intern when I worked for the Like Bicycle Coalition, and she was on a pro team. But there was one time where I saw her weave her way through a peloton, just kind of like butter. And the way he had just kind of like zipped his way in, it was just really elegant.
But the thing about that is he's zipping his way in through a bunch of, not pros. I mean,
exactly.
Great riders at Pandas Ponies, don't get me wrong, but there's also people that have no clue what they're doing. And they're starstruck, and they're trying to film and take selfies and pictures. That had to be terrifying for Vanderpool. Like, he doesn't know any of these people. He doesn't know, what they're going to do. Or that, I thought that was kind of a, I don't know, it was a big risk, but a little risky for him.
You're saying it's not the Rose Bowl B ride?
I mean, I don't know, but I'm just saying it's, there's guys around him that are definitely, I see riders that I know that are great riders, but I also know there's people there that are just not so great. Sure. And, anything can happen. Touch of wheels, people, anything could happen. So for him to blend in like that, like to Zach's point, that's some good skill, because he had to avoid mayhem the whole ride.
Yeah.
To
be fluid.
And if it was okay here, although give credit, like the people that have done a lot of these rides, there he's taking off to get in front of everybody, as a elite rider should. But a lot of people that are regulars on the ride were trying to discourage things like this. Although actually crossing the yellow line here is not against the law, the single striped. But you obviously do not want to go into head-on traffic.
Nope.
Yes,
right.
Especially with a group like this. So I made sure to stay over to the side. But you can kind of tell here, everybody's trying to get into the front because he's getting in the front. Nobody knew exactly what his plans were for this ride, so I think everybody wanted to catch a glimpse. And you could see we're about a couple miles away, a little more from the start, so everyone typically gets into position for this climb anyways. And around here I was getting exponentially more nervous as the ride kept going. Now, one thing that I brought up in the video that you could make an argument that he's the best cyclist in the world, no?
Yeah.
Overall, I mean, if we
because he does so many different disciplines.
Gravel, mountain bike, road, TT.
He's great. He's
all of it,
great
yeah.
at everything that he does.
yes, you know, he's for the next couple days, he's the gravel world champion.
Yeah.
He's won Paris-Roubaix 3 years in a row.
Yes.
The fact that he beat Tade on Milan-San Remo, you know, I think he's won the last 2 years is pretty incredible. The cyclocross titles and the mountain bike titles as well. Like,
Yeah.
if someone who's like done all that and he's still at the top of his game, he there's only won, I think, 2 stages in the Tour de France overall. I think he won one this year. But you know, he definitely is not someone who, you know, he can hang in the peloton for a lot longer than the average rider.
Okay, but unfortunately, I think you can't call him the greatest if he's never won a world tour, you know, overall, because that's like the pinnacle. That's the definition of greatest.
A world tour, what?
A 3-week. He's never won the Tour de France. He's never going to win the Tour de France, or the Vuelta or the Giro. So that's hard to call him the great. He's one of the greatest, and he's the greatest. We're talking about
multifaceted,
discipline, but no, you'll get pushed back hugely by calling him the greatest over Tade or Eddie Merckx or somebody like that, because it's all about Grand Tours.
Okay,
you know. That's the pinnacle of cycling. Because, you know, there's guys that win BMX. There's guys that win trials. Are they the greatest? I mean, they do stuff that's unbelievable. And nobody talks about those guys. They only talk about Grand Tour winners, you know, in the upper echelon of cycling. And no argument for me. I think the guy can mountain bike, gravel, road. He's amazing, amazing. But I don't think you can call him the greatest unless he's going to win a Grand Tour.
Okay, well.
Just it is what it is.
Well,
what do you think?
Yeah.
I think he's pretty awesome. I would say, yeah. I mean, like Pidcock is probably pretty close right there too.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
Slaying every discipline possible on the bike is not something everyone can do.
Nope.
But also savagely beating down a 3-week Grand Tour is not something I was ever able to even fathom.
No, and that's the difference. That's the difference.
Yeah. There's different variables there. I think he's I mean, a belligerent monster of like cartoonish amounts, but
he's a beast no matter how you slice it. He's one of the greatest of all time, 100%.
Right.
There's no question about it. And Pidcock too.
Yeah.
But neither one of those guys, maybe Pidcock, maybe one day, I don't know, but they're not going to win the Tour. He's just not. And that's hard to call him the greatest when that's the pinnacle. At least that's
Pidcock is, however, lining up for Gravel Worlds on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna spank.
He's
great.
He's right there with Jake Winnett, who's raced against Zach several times.
What about these guys that ride Red Bull that do backflips off?
Oh God,
you know, gigantic. Those guys to me are the greatest because they're death-defying in everything they do.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, everything they do is.
I would put what they do in their own caliber, but I think what Zach's trying to say is what he's been able to accomplish is far beyond most human ability.
No argument from me.
And
I agree.
And what Matthews put out is numbers wise, power wise, skill with cyclocross and multiple other disciplines is something that hardly any single Grand Tour athlete can accomplish.
No doubt about it.
Unbelievable.
I
for
agree
sure.
with you guys, but I'm saying you're going to
Yeah.
get pushed back,
Okay.
generally speaking.
Yeah, right.
I agree, though.
Well, I do think that there's a name that belongs in this discussion.
Who?
This person has won a gravel world championship, cyclocross world championship, mountain
Oh, I
bike
thought you were
world
going to call out our
championship.
friend who was just in your video.
Oh, who? Chris Johnston?
No, Justin.
Oh, Justin? No, he's pretty good at crits, but
I don't think
not
he does
in this
cyclocross, does he?
conversation.
No.
No.
I mean, he's done cyclocross, yeah, but he's
Yes.
he's definitely a crit boss.
Oh, yeah. He's the man.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's somebody who has won all the same world championships that Vanderpool has won. Also an Olympic gold.
Okay.
Also,
This must be a woman. You
it
talking about
is.
boss?
What? No. Currently,
Marion?
Pauline Prevost.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Oh, and she retired and came back.
Yeah.
I mean, she quit for a few years. Yeah,
I don't think for that long, but
she did. It was more than 1 year. It was a couple of years she wasn't in the world tour.
Yeah.
She said
She started an Etsy business knitting stuff. I'm kidding. It's a joke.
I'm like, really?
No, not at all. It's incredibly misogynistic.
Oh, geez.
No, not at all. No, she took her own life, came back, and said, "Hold my beer. I got this." Yeah,
yeah.
no, not at all.
I mean, the fact that she won Paris-Roubaix this year and the Tour de France at the same time, and she dominated the Tour de France and last
casually.
So I mean,
right? Like it wasn't like a chase every day. It was this is mine. I got this.
Nope.
Like you're tier 2, I'm tier 1. Let me show you how it's done, and then we'll meet at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, she crushed.
So I don't know if you can see, he's barely in the video here. Vanderpool is taking off. And I think what happened here was, obviously he's not familiar with this segment, doesn't know how far it is, but if he sees some people taking off, he's like, all right, I'm going to go chase them down. And if you've seen, there's another video of someone who's much further ahead than me that was on Vanderpool's wheel. And I think the video kind of starts in about 3 minutes from here up there. But Vanderpool is, I think you can hear in the video, he's trying to close the gap in the very front group. And in that front group was our friend Jonas Woodruff.
Oh, Jonas was there. I saw Andrew was there too.
Yeah, but like he was
he
huh?
Was Andrew in front too?
I don't think so.
No,
I couldn't tell because there's only 2 people in front of Vanderpool, and one of them was Jonas, and this guy was able to hang on the wheel for about 4 minutes, and then he had lost contact. I'll definitely ask Jonas, and maybe we'll have him on one day to see how the rest of that went. But obviously Jonas has some advantage in knowing how long the segment is and where it ends. But there's a part in the video where Vanderpool takes off and quickly closes the gap, and you kind of feel like maybe he's just holding on to their wheel at this point because he just doesn't know where he's going, how far it is. But I'm sure that would have been impressive. And Phil Guyman has the KOM on here, and I think that even though Phil is probably could do Mont Ventoux faster than Vanderpool, I think this is a climb that Vanderpool would definitely. It's very kind of similar to some of those climbs in Milan-San Remo, in that this climb doesn't have like any severe double-digit grades. and it's flat in the middle, so it's not one consistent climb. And if you can
Like a big ring
accelerate,
push.
I'm sure like he could probably stay in the big ring the whole time here.
Oh, for sure.
You know, this part gets to be about 8% right before you do the turn off. And then it kind of like lingers in that area for the next couple minutes. But then you've got like a flat area where he
Well,
probably
it's not just flat. There's a little descent after the water tower. There's a little descent. And then it's a very gradual up. And it's kind of just gradual until you get to the three bastards or whatever they call it.
Yes. So it would have been interesting. And I thought at the time, could he just do it all on his own if he just decides to go? But I think like with the amount of, how many couple hundred times at least that Phil has done this climb, like it does make a difference when you are doing a climb and you know it intimately, because sometimes changing gears a certain part like does make a huge difference of not getting caught. And I think that this is one of the few climbs, one of the climbs in LA that I think I know real intimately, and and I think that gives like a big advantage, even though I don't think I've done this climb at full speed at like 3-4 years.
Jason, have you done this climb?
Possibly when I lived in LA. I'm not really sure exactly what climb it is.
All right, you would know. You would know this.
I will say, racing against World Tour auto drivers and World Tour drivers, there is a distinct difference in ability. I remember racing cars for a living, thinking I was top notch, and then going up against people at a clearly higher caliber than I could ever put out, and realizing there was a skill set I wasn't coming anywhere near close to. And I've had a few instances racing bikes in the same vein, where I realized very, very quickly that I was not being presented with the same levels tools that they were. And not that anybody was doing anything nefarious, just more or less people have a different skill set than the vast majority of the most of us. And no matter how hard we train, no matter how hard we try, there is a different level of understanding that most people can never get to. And it's fantastic to be able to see in person.
Because you appreciate it more, because you know how hard it is, or almost like you said, like basically impossible to get to that.
Yeah.
So that's called humble pie.
With ice cream.
I've been humbled many times, going, wow. What?
Yeah. I mean, when you see some of these, I've never sprinted with a elite sprinter. I don't ever want to do that anyways. I think it'd just be ridiculous. But climbing is pretty impressive when you see what some of these people can do. And there are different types of climbers that excel at certain parts than others. So,
right.
Oh, he's skipping a little bit.
Yeah.
Am I?
Or is it me? Oh, we've lost him.
Yep. Now he's gone.
Circle of Doom. Well, anyways, this is a good time to probably wrap up. I know a lot of people probably clicking, ordering the jerseys right now. Jason just left to get his. So that's hopefully we'll see him on the side. Anyways, thanks for Jason for joining. We're going to be off next week. We are going up to do we're going to join Mig for the Mega Hopper. We're not going to do it, but we do have to send it on the Sunday, and but no show next week because my daughter has a choir concert. So you're all welcome to go and hear me talk my life. So anyways, thanks for Jason for joining. And see you on the flip side.